Hey there, welcome to week number 7 of the American Defense Manufacturing Intro to 3-Gun video series. Okay, if you've been keeping up with the video series, you know that in week 5, we talked all about the 3-gun competition rifle. In week number 6, we talked about your 3-gun competition shotgun to include your open and your Tac Ops. And this week, in week number 7, it's all about the handguns. So, stick around, we're gonna go over open, carry optics, limited, and Tac Ops. Okay, so let's get started with the handgun. So first thing we're going to talk about is limited. Limited means just that. Things are limited, specifically your round count. So in limited division, you're going to shoot a regular handgun. It can be a striker fired, it can be a 2011 platform. Doesn't really matter. There are some limitations to what you can do on it. The big difference is the round count. So typically in a 2011 and a Glock, a SIG, you're going to get a 17 round mag is what it's going to come with. Some 15, some 17, and in a few instances it may even be 21. But generally speaking, your round count is limited. It means you don't have base pads on there to add the round count from 17 to 22 or 23. It means that if you have that big 21 from the factory, you're probably going to have to get something that only allows 17 or 15 rounds in it. Most of the time, your match directors in your division is going to be capped at 15 rounds. So if you have 17 rounds, you have to download it too. And really, it's kind of on integrity. If you're at a major match, they may even make you sit there and unload the mag and then load it back up just to ensure that you're following the correct rule of 15 or 17 or whatever the case may be in the magazine. Okay, so for limited, you're going to see a lot of your Glocks, your SIGs, things of that nature in limited division. You may see like the IWI Masada, which is a super nice handgun. It's a great entry-level gun, and I say entry-level meaning price point wise. We're going to get into that a little bit more here in a minute when we actually talk about the carry optics division that we've started at the American Defense Manufacturing Tar Heel Challenge. So we'll get into that in just a little bit more. But essentially, that's the big thing on limited. You're limited to the round count. You can't have a red dot, anything of that nature. It is just your gun, pretty much the way it comes from the factory, and maybe even downloaded a couple rounds, okay? Okay, so the next division we're going to talk about is Tac Ops and heavy. And we're going to throw heavy in with Tac Ops because nowadays, most people that are shooting heavy division, most matches are running 9mm. If you are shooting true heavy is a 45 caliber pistol, okay? In Tac Ops, you're gonna be 9mm. So most heavy divisions, most matches are actually running heavy as a 9mm, and the big difference for heavy division is the 308 caliber or larger rifle. So that being said, the handgun is gonna be almost identical in heavy or Tac Ops. 9mm, you're going to have a lot of the mag wells, the larger mag capacity, where you can add the base pads that'll take your factory round magazine from 15 or 17 rounds up to 22, 23 rounds. Essentially what it is it's a 141.25 magazine length. So this is a 141.25. In comparison, this is a factory SIG magazine with 17 rounds for the P320. So you can see that this is a little bit bigger for that 141. This holds 17 rounds. I usually get 23 rounds in my MBX 2011 mags. So that's going to be it. I'm going to tell you a lot of things that you see in the in Tac Ops are going to be the 2011 type handguns. So more or less a double stack 1911. This right here is my Tommy Guns 6-inch sight tracker. I'm going to do a full review on this here shortly, so be sure to stick around and follow the Tar Heel 3-Gun YouTube page so that when we post that, you can check it out and learn a little bit more about the custom 2011s, some of the options that you can get with them, so that if you ever decide to buy one, you know a little bit more what you're getting into before you get started. When I bought my first 2011, I was lost in the sauce. Didn't know much. I made some selections that in hindsight I wouldn't have. With the amount of money you spend on a custom built 2011, you want to make sure you get what you want the first time and not go back a few months down the road when you see your buddies or see somebody else's and go, oh man, what the, I didn't even know that. So when we do the review, we're going to answer some of your questions about that stuff as well. But moving on. So the big difference between limited and Tac Ops is that round count. 15 to 17 in your limited, to 22, 23 with the 141 millimeter magazine for your pistol. That's really the main difference there. So let's keep moving on. All right, so let's talk a little bit about carry optics. So carry optics is the fastest growing division in USPSA. So with that being said, one of the things that we wanted to do is let people who shoot USPSA that are potentially getting in the 3-gun and 3-gunners who also shoot a lot of carry optics, utilize that firearm that they're using. You know, it's become a big defensive thing on defensive handguns for people to run red dots. So a lot of people want to stick with that in competition shooting as well. And in limited, or in Tac Ops and limited, that's not an option. And if you're shooting open, well, that comes with a whole other different set of stuff. So it's not really the same thing. So what we've done for carry optics at the American Defense Manufacturing Tar Heel Challenge is that we have allowed for a carry optics division. Now, the rules are exactly the same across the board as Tac Ops, with the exception of a slide ride red dot. So this is the IWI Masada. This thing is $450 retail. It's got a super nice trigger. This is honestly probably one of the best triggers I've ever felt from a manufacturer straight from the get-go. At this price, it comes with 3 17-round magazines. It comes with all of the MOS adapter plates, or all the adapter plates to mount, I think the Venom, the Romeo, Sig Romeo 1, the RMR, and there's another one as well. But it comes with 4 adapter plates to be able to mount different red dots to it already. On this one, I've got a Vortex Venom set up on it with a 6 MOA dot. But the big difference for carry optics versus moving to open is that it has to be a slide ride mounted red dot. It can't be frame mounted, and it can't have a comp on it, and it has to stick with the 141 millimeter magazines. So the factory is going to be shorter. It's going to hold 17 rounds, and there are some companies that do base pads for like the IWI now, which will allow it to increase up to 22 rounds. Same thing for the SIG. This is a P320X5 Legion I have right here. It has the same thing. It's got a adapter plate. You can switch it off to put one of the red dots on it. The Sig Romeo 3 is a super nice one. As a matter of fact, if you get the 6-hour P320X5 Max, it comes with the Romeo 3 already mounted and a couple other little upgrades as well. So those are the kind of options, but all it is taking a Glock, the IWI Masada, a SIG, and putting a red dot on it and running it like that. All right. So that's the difference for the carry optics. Remember, it has to be a slide mounted red dot. It cannot be frame mounted, cannot have a comp, and the magazine can't be greater than a 141. All right, now let's talk about open just a little bit. Okay, so the big difference between moving from Tac Ops to carry optics was, of course, the red dot, the slide mounted red dot, right? So when you move into open, it goes into a whole nother ball game. All right, open is the sky's the limit, no rules, no holds barred kind of thing. So the main difference you're going to get into in an open gun is items like this. You're going to have the slide rack or gas pedal to put that thumb in to create some downward force for the muzzle rise. You're going to have a slide mounted red dot instead of, or I'm sorry, frame mounted red dot instead of a slide mounted red dot. And you're going to have a compensator. Now, because you have this compensator, in order to truly work that compensator, you're going to run a much hotter ammo, something that moves a lot faster, has a lot higher power factor. Okay. The slide racker is important because when you've got a red dot on there and everything, a lot of times it can be hard to get underneath there to rack your slide if you have a malfunction or anything. So if you can see here, you're not going to do it from the front because the mount, the red dot mount, is going to get in the way, and from the back side you still a little bit hard to get. So slide racker is imperative when you're running an open gun. This right here has the Seymour Railway red dot on it. There's a lot of red dots out there. Some of the most popular are going to be your Vortex Razor, the Vortex Venom. You're also going to see a lot of Seymour, the RTSs, STSs, the Trijicon RMRs, Holisons. There's a plethora of them out there. I like to run the Vortex Razor on mine. Like I said, this is not actually my gun. I sold my open gun this year because I wasn't shooting a lot of open, and I wanted to build the 6-inch sight tracker from Tommy Guns. So what I'm doing instead, and if you want to just shoot and have a good time and open, but you can't afford a true open gun, or you're wanting to have your 2011, custom 2011, staccato, whatever the case may be, and still go out and have some fun and shoot open from time to time as well, whether it's USPSA or falling steel matches or something of that nature, you can do like I did. So because I don't shoot a lot of open, but I do enjoy it, and I've got a Dissonant Arms KS12 that I want to get out and play with sometimes. So what I've done on the pistol side is I had my gunsmith, Jeff Abernathy at Tommy Guns, tap the side of the frame. So what I can do is, I've got my mount here with my Vortex Razor red dot, is I can screw this on and mount it to the position, and now I've got a frame mounted red dot. Everything else works the same on my gun. Everything else is just right. I don't have to run the higher power factor ammo, a lot hotter ammo, because I don't have the comp to work. So I don't have to worry about dealing with the barrel or changing off a slide or anything else. All I do is screw it in, check 0 before I go to the match, reconfirm 0, adjust it if I need to, and then I go out and shoot and have a good time. And I shoot the same exact ammo that I shoot in my gun every other match. So that's how I'm shooting open this year. I felt that would be a lot more productive for me. So one of the other big differences for open is the ammo, right? So ammo, you're allowed the big sticks. You're allowed the 171.25 millimeter, which generally hold about 28 to 29 rounds. And size comparison, you can see this is the 141 that we use in Tac Ops and everything. And you can see how much bigger it is. 22 to 23 rounds, 28 to 29 rounds. All right. Some matches may not even have a limit on 171. It's just, you know, run what you brung. No, you know, like I said, no holds barred, sky's the limit. And in that case, you have the true gamers like my buddy Mike Sexton, who has 2 of these big sticks welded together, and he can get, like, I think it's either 38, 39 or 42, 43 rounds into that one mag. It takes him a minute to load it, but he gets there. And he doesn't have to change the mag during the match or during the stage. So for some matches, that may be an option for you as well. It's a lot harder to find those kind of things, but at the very least, you've got the 171 big sticks. MBX is what I run. Love their products. I think that about covers everything. We've gone over limiting you to 15, 17 rounds. We've gone over Tac Ops, being that you can run 22 to 23 rounds. Carry optics, same as Tac Ops, but it allows for a slide ride red dot, and then open, which is a frame mounted red dot, a larger mag capacity, and the compensator. And then a couple other things that you're gonna want in there, like the gas pedal and the slide racker. So if you've got any questions on any of these or any of the different divisions, feel free to hit us up. Send us a message on Facebook, social media, or email us. info@tarhill3g.com or www.stagezerosshooting.com. I appreciate it. Thank you for checking us out. We'll see you next week.